Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. Alright, Roxstars, let's get to the serious subjects first. What's on everybody's mind, especially if you are working for the federal government and are a part of the partial shutdown that is taking place currently. We are in the 21st day of the government shutdown, imposed by y'all stupid ass president, because he is trying to force the Democrats' hand at this 5.7. How many is it? 5.7. My phone is saying million. For this wall. Now, you guys remember that he ran his 2016 campaign solely, well, not solely, but majorly on the fact that Mexico was going to be paying for this wall. Remember, he was like, don't worry, Mexico is going to pay for it. Okay, well, the Mexican president at the time had already told us, hell, fuck nah, bitch. They had no intentions of paying for it. We all knew that as well, but for some reason, I guess the base believed it for Trump. And now here we are. The Republicans had already denied him this money. Now it kind of works in his favor to show the Democrats as the one being the most difficult by not giving him what he wants, when even the Republicans would not give it to him. But hey, now it's all the Democrats' fault. Politics, y'all. It's a bitch. So like a petulant toddler that he is, now he has imposed the shutdown and has kind of written it off like, you know what, the people will adjust. I mean, I guess they ain't got no choice but to adjust. But if this government shutdown goes on any longer or too much longer, it could actually wreak real havoc in our nation. Not only are people not now being paid for work that they are doing, but all of these government funded programs are going to start suffering. Okay, we already know WIC is in trouble. They're saying that the food stamps are going to suffer somewhere along the line. If this goes on, I mean, we pray that it won't. And I don't know what to think, but they're saying student loans are only going to be funded until September. I mean, a whole lot of things can happen. People can't close on their homes, bank loans and things. I mean, there could be so many fallout from this government shutdown. And I'm sure he's been advised of that. If somebody like myself, who's not even, politically savvy, can just make the connections on how many things are going. I'm sure I'm even forgetting a lot of things that can happen. But yeah, this has just been pretty much a disaster. And if this isn't proof that your stupid ass president don't give a fuck about you, and especially his base, who are going to be greatly affected as well, as much in their mind that they can try to blame this on the Democrats, he is actually the person that has started and dug in his heels to keep it going. So, my prayers are out for the federal workers, because I can't imagine going to work, having to go to work every day and not being paid, or even not going to work and not being paid when you know that you have a job. And I can't imagine trying to make ends meet. I know there's a lot of programs that are saying, okay, we're not going to affect your credit, your house note, your credit cards maybe, and, those type of bills. But what about just regular grocery shopping? The same with these utilities and, those things are still going to have to be taken care of by some sort of way. And even if they're asking you for a small portion, if you ain't got it, fuck. Look, when you ain't got it, you just ain't got it. It don't matter if they bring it on down to $25, So I can just imagine the stress that people are facing right now, just trying to live, So like I said, prayers up for everybody that's affected by the government shutdown. We'll all get there eventually. But for right now, those immediately who are not having their jobs to go to or not having their check, because now 21 days we definitely into you ain't got a check, and about to be into the second you ain't got a check. So I'm sorry for it, but hopefully your stupid ass president will come around, because the Democrats have said this standoff is going to end, and it will not end with a wall. We'll see. Okay, so last week we spoke about the shooting, the unfortunate and tragic shooting in Houston, Texas, where little Jasmine Harris, is that her name? Little Jasmine Barnes, I'm sorry. Jasmine Barnes was the 7-year-old who was shot in the head by a random shooter as her mother and her sisters, they were driving to the grocery store one early Saturday morning. I told you guys last week that they believed that it was a white man in his early 40s that had a pickup truck. They believed that he was the suspect that they were looking for, and that was what the manhunt, as far as we knew, was at the time that I did Top of the Blogs last week. Well, I think it was Saturday morning. I found out that not only was it not the white guy that they expected it to be, that it was actually 2 young black men who shot up the car in a case of mistaken identity. Evidently, Mr. Larry Woodruff, 24 years old, and Eric Black Jr., 20 years old, was in a car, and they pulled up on the vehicle that Jasmine was in, thinking that they were the car of some people that they had gotten into a fight with just a few hours earlier at some club. Okay, obviously didn't pull up close enough to the car, pull up on the side of the car, or by the time they got to the car, they was just already shooting. Yeah, did not realize that this was the wrong car, shot up the car and killed the little girl. So yeah, I guess I owe the apology because last week I was really trying to make it a racial thing, and I guess sometimes we just can't rush to judgment. I know people are saying that, wait a minute, Roxanne, it's still fishy because, what are people saying about the white guy that zoomed off? They thought was the one who actually shot. Well, that's easily explainable. When people are shooting, what the fuck are you trying to do? Get away, right? So they're saying that he was hauling ass to get the hell out of the way, is the same like everybody else that was in that would have been in the vicinity of a car being shot up. Okay, you don't know if you next. And if the mother is ducking over, remember I even told you that she was trying to protect her oldest daughter. I'm sure she wasn't looking around. She probably had her head down because she was trying to make sure that she didn't get hit. So by the time she looked up, you look up and you see a car speeding off, you immediately think that that's the person that actually shot, when it wasn't. Like I said, I'm sure it was a lot of pandemonium. So, yeah, those 2 guys eventually was found and arrested. Now they're facing life in prison and possibly the death penalty. Now, I did just read that Larry Woodruff is now saying that he was not the shooter. Evidently, Eric Black had said Eric Black was arrested first. Or was Larry Woodruff? I believe he was already arrested for something else. Okay. He was already in police custody. I believe so. I feel like that's part of the story. If it's not, y'all excuse me, but I do believe that was what the case was. Anyway, Eric, when the police arrested him, he told them that he was the driver and this guy, Larry, was the shooter. And then Eric said that the gun was at his house and gave the police permission to search the home, and they turned up with a 9mm pistol. Okay, and then that's when they they also arrested Larry for the shooting. But now they're saying that Larry is saying that he is not the shooter and saying that he was not involved at all. And saying that if Eric is saying that he was at the scene of the crime, he was in the car, and he had the gun, then they're saying, Larry's attorney is saying that Eric is the person that shot up the car and shot and killed the little girl. So now, we're going to have some haggling over that. I guess everybody would be kind of motivated to tell on each other or possibly lie on each other because of what they're facing. And we'll just see. But for right now, they're saying that they have the responsible party for the killing of little Miss Jasmine, and hopefully they'll be able to sort out all the details, and whoever did whatever they did will be brought to justice. And prayers up again for that family as well. Every time I saw that mother, when I saw the funeral pictures and she was standing at the casket, I just felt my heart was broken for her. Yeah, that is a follow-up though on Jasmine Barnes' death. All right, you guys, and then in a crazy story, there is a medical facility. Actually, it's a long-term patient care home in Phoenix, Arizona. I believe the name of it is Highland. Hold on one second. The name of the place is Hacienda Healthcare. There was a patient that was staying there, like I said, long-term. She was in a vegetative state. If I remember correctly, she has been there since she was 3 years old. Anyway, she's been in a vegetative state. The family has kept her there. And yeah, she has been there. I thought vegetative state and coma is the same thing, and evidently it is not. Vegetative state, they're saying that the people can still open their eyes and may possibly even be aware of what is going on around them, but just can't make any moves or anything. My rock star doctors out there, the real ones, correct me on this. I know that there's a difference between comatose and vegetative, but clarify what's the difference between the two. But anyway, the girl has been there since she was 3 years old. She's lived there, and they have taken care of her. Now, there are some, government rules where they have to make sure that they check up on her, but it doesn't seem like it is as regular as you would think maybe somebody that's just in the hospital and recuperating or recovering. So she had a checkup by a physician back in April. And during that checkup, they're saying that her everything was fine, and they didn't find anything wrong with her. Okay. And then also whoever's her legal guardian or the parent or whoever is, in charge of her, they have to sign off for it, and it's sent on to the state. So it's supposedly a regulated system that they have. But since April, I guess they don't have to check up on her. Well, now 9 months later, after the last checkup, the young lady has now given birth, and it caught everybody by surprise. Obviously, she has been raped by someone, and most people are assuming that it is some sort of male staff, and now there's an investigation going on. But of course, all the outrage is, why didn't anybody see her stomach getting bigger? Well, they're saying that in this vegetative state, because you are being fed the same amount every single day, you don't necessarily put on any weight. Okay. As a matter of fact, if you're pregnant and you are still being fed through these tubes, the person would probably lose weight, because now the baby is taking all the nutrients from the person in this vegetative state to survive, and not necessarily even would show in her stomach if the staff is not paying attention closely to her stomach, and she's under sheets and things like that. They're going in, they're looking at her, making sure she's still alive, and then kind of leaving out. So that's kind of the understanding that I got. But now again, like we say, the girl has had a baby. She's part of an Indian tribe. What was the tribe? The family of the girl is part of the San Carlos Apache tribe in southeastern Arizona, and they plan on taking care of the little baby boy that was born. But man, what the fuck is wrong with people? Now, I have heard about people having sex with comatose patients and things like that. But you've never heard it go as far as to somebody having a baby. But I do think that some years ago, up in Boston or up north somewhere, something like this happened before as well. But just sick. And if it is one of them workers, they definitely gonna get to the bottom of it. But I mean, I guess it could really even be somebody that broke into the facility late at night or something like that. I mean, you never know. But definitely sickening and devastating for a family, because now you have to take care of a child who doesn't have a mother. You got to explain to this child when they get old enough how they came about, and just crazy. So that's what's going on in Hacienda Healthcare, and I'll keep you posted if they do end up arresting somebody for the crime. But isn't that terrible, you guys? People are crazy. All right, you guys, let's get to the entertainment. So they're saying that Wendy Williams, something is going on with the Wendy Williams show. You guys know that she has not been on the air since December 20th. Her last time that she was on air and she was, trying to do her regular show, people started to notice that she was behaving erratically. She was speaking strangely. Some of her words were getting jumbled up. She was stopping, trying to make sure she got her train of thought, opening her eyes wide, looking almost panicked at some points. And right after that happened, she decided to put the show on hiatus. It happened right around the holidays, so it was sort of able to just say, okay, the show is off, it's the holidays, you know. Supposedly she had fractured her shoulder and she had been on pain pills. And she said that they were making her a little bit loopy. So she just would rather be off and try to get herself together. So she was supposed to come back on January 7th. She extended it for one more week and said she wouldn't be back till January 14th. Now they're saying that she physically won't be back until January 21st. And but the show itself will be back as of January 14th with a panel of hot talkers. Okay. And so basically they're going to have guest speakers or guest hosts while Wendy Williams is still at home recuperating. But people are starting to wonder exactly what's what. And, you know, I kind of feel like if there is some trouble going on, or if there's something going on with Wendy Williams, either her health or her personal life, it might just be better to just be like, okay, let's just keep it off for a little while until everybody can get themselves together. I guess you can't do that though, because this is a business and there's a production company and there is a network that is relying on the income from her show, from, you know, advertising and things like that. So I guess they're not able to just be like, okay, let us get it together and then we gonna come on back. But yeah, I'm wondering what's going on with Wendy Williams. I know a lot of people, you know, have their issues with Wendy Williams. I don't watch Wendy Williams because I'm at work. But I don't have a problem with Wendy Williams. You know, Wendy Williams has a job to do like everybody else. And of course, she's not that much liked, because of the subject that she has to sometimes give. But, you know, I understand that she's just got to be the bad guy. People say it's because she has such a nasty way of delivering the news, and I guess I can see that in Wendy. But people like it because people watch her, right? Isn't that what you guys want people to be like and want people to do? So, you know, I feel bad for her because we all know about the issues that's going on with her husband, Kevin Hunter. Okay, allegedly having this affair with this woman for some years, and supposedly now the girl is pregnant. They're saying that Kevin Hunter had held a meeting with the Wendy Williams staff on Monday. They're thinking that they're going to get updated about her health, and instead he chewed them out about the leaks and how everybody seems to be talking about Wendy Williams and him, and the fact that he might got somebody pregnant, and he just had a problem. They say he sat down and read a bunch of articles and was trying to pinpoint who exactly was the leak in the room. Okay, so you know, Kevin Hunter I think he's been a problem for Wendy for a long time. That obviously is her husband and she loves him, but you know, there's some other things going on there, and it has now become a problem when it comes to her job, and it might even be a problem when it comes to her mental, you know, just trying to deal with it. And so yeah, it's just bad times, it looks like, for Wendy Williams. But right now they're saying she's gonna come back on January 21st. Okay, so that's 2 weeks away, and I guess we'll see. But you know, Wendy Williams, girl, if you watch, and hold your head up. You know, hopefully you gonna be getting better, and it's not what people are saying, because some people are thinking that maybe she might even be back on drugs. I don't know if I feel like she's back on drugs. I just feel like maybe there's a whole lot going on, and you know, she might not. I mean, motherfuckers can have a mental breakdown. You know, people can be so stressed out from what's going on around them that, you know, that they can't deal, and no amount of money or celebrity can keep you from that. As a matter of fact, sometimes it seems like the more famous you are, the more likely you can break down from those type of things. So you guys don't be too hard on Wendy Williams, and I guess we'll see if she comes back to the show on January 21st. Guys, so Cyn Santana and Angela Yee, they were on Angela Yee's podcast. I think it's called Lip Service. And this was a couple of years ago. Angela Yee had Cyn Santana and I knew I was gonna forget the girl's name and I didn't put it down. It don't really matter, but it was the girl from Love and Hip Hop ATL that season when they had the transgender girl on there. Oh, Betty somebody. Anyway, they were both guests on the show. And I don't listen to podcasts much, so I don't know. But I'm assuming that the show was just a whole bunch of girl talk where you talk about relationships, you talk about sex, you talk about men, you talk about, those kind of things. So it had come out on social media that supposedly Cyn Santana had said something along the lines of she likes to date black men, especially because they treat Spanish women well, that black women have attitudes, and that's the reason why black men choose Spanish people. Now that was what I had gotten from just reading it, scrolling up on my Instagram, and I was like, well, that don't sound like Cyn Santana, because I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm sure she got a whole bunch of black homegirls. Okay, I know she's not, I mean, what is she? Is she Puerto Rican or Dominican? I mean, she is still Afro-Latina, I guess I should say, right? Y'all, this channel has really got me together on all. I'll still be confused, but people are like, no, Puerto Ricans are black, and no, Dominicans are black, and so y'all school me on that. I just kind of assumed that she was still a black Latina. But anyway, people were going in on Cyn to the point where she felt like she needed to explain herself. People saying that she had a problem with black women and that she was putting herself above black women, and that, she was okay. So I decided to listen to the podcast, and there is literally, you guys, it's only about a minute of a whole hour and something long podcast where they are talking about, the subject comes up because they're talking about J-Lo being with that Casper Smart guy. Okay. And then they're saying how they wanted J-Lo to be back with Anthony. What's his name? Her ex-husband. And then Mark Anthony. And then somebody said that she wanted J-Lo to be with Puffy. Somebody was like, oh, no, no Puffy. And that's when Cyn says she likes Latina girls with black men. And then a few seconds later, she went on to say something along the lines of she loves being with black men, okay, because black men especially treat Latino women very well. They cater to them, okay. Didn't say nothing about black women, because I was specifically listening out to see if she said that black women have attitudes, and that's why, they cater more to Latina women. But she never said that. If we were going to say anything about anybody saying something about a black guy, Angela Yee does say at one point when they're joking around, I mean, it's clear that they're laughing. But when she said, Cyn did think to herself, like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't say this. Okay, and then that's when Angela Yee said, yeah, you're going to get in trouble with the black women out there. Saying it in like the third person. So people started saying like, well, Angela Yee doesn't look at herself as a black woman because she's saying with the black women. But you guys know, I do that. Sometimes I'll talk in the third person, but of course that includes myself, and again, they were laughing. And then even again, they were joking around about the fact that, when she said, she wanted to be with the black guys, and then Angela Yee said, oh, so you want to be treated bad. Okay. But honestly, in the context of the conversation, it all sounded like a joke. Now, was it in poor taste, or, I mean, maybe, everybody is real sensitive about race and to me, what I'm just saying is, I didn't get the feeling that Cyn Santana was trying to say that all black women have attitudes, because she never did say that, so she was sort of misquoted on that. But what I will say is, I've heard many people from other races say that they like to date black men because black men treat them good. And we have also, as black women, we can't lie to ourselves and say that we haven't heard people say that black men don't like to deal with us because that we do have a certain type of attitude, which is ridiculous. Okay, because every race has fucking attitudes. White women out there wilding just like black women, just like Mexican women, just like Asian women, yeah, Asian women can get there too. Because at this point, everybody is kind of Americanized, and you adapt to your situation. Fuck, when I go get my nails done, some of them girls they about as ghetto, if not more ghetto, than some of the girls that grew up right down the street from me. Okay, Asian, Vietnamese. So, the generalization of trying to say all black men treat, Latina or whatever other women, other race women well. I mean, there are some black men out there who only want to be. I know of one specifically that I can think of right now who always says black women have attitudes, and I've had so many discussions and arguments with him over that fact that now I just be like, you ignorant, and I just whatever. But there's definitely men out there who are that way. Are all black men like that? Absolutely not. Okay. I think it is in right now, especially to be with a black woman if you are a black man. So that dynamic is changing, but we'd be crazy to not admit that there are some men out there, black, who specifically feel this way. And that's unfortunate. So, I didn't have a problem with Cyn. I felt like if you listen to the whole thing in the context of the conversation, you'd kind of see. But, it was definitely, like I said, she caught herself. She knew that it may come back to bite her, and now 2 years later it has. But, what do you guys think? I know so many people are not in the mode right now of forgiving people of the things that they've said some years back. And I always tell you guys that people are allowed to grow and change their mind, due to the experiences that they've had. When you know better, you do better. That old adage. So that could definitely be for Cyn, and the things that she said back then, she probably, may not feel that way even today. I'm still okay with Cyn is the bottom line. And y'all tell me if y'all still okay with Cyn either, as well, because I do realize that us black women, because we are attacked so much that, anything anybody say, we'd be like, what? We be ready. And so many times we have to band together to be there for each other because nobody else is there for us. So I get why everybody feels the way that they do. But you guys just, if you can kind of see what I'm saying, or am I being too nice, too general, okay, too naive? Because I know sometimes y'all tell me that I am. Yeah, what did you guys think about it? Did you listen to the Lip Service podcast? If you haven't, go listen to it, but you ain't got to listen to the whole thing, y'all. Start at about around 15 minutes and listen to it all the way through to about 19 minutes, and you'll be good. All right, you guys, so Love and Hip Hop Atlanta star Tommy, okay, also known as a Tosha Jefferson, she's got legal problems big time right now. You guys remember when I told you back in October that she went to her daughter's middle school in Cobb County out here in Georgia and went into the classroom. I think they said she slapped the girl, dragged her down the hall by her hair, and then slammed her head up against the lockers. Remember, she was arrested for that. She was able to bail out, and they told her to stay away from her daughter. However, she went straight to where her daughter was when she got out of jail, and I guess there was some contact made some kind of way. The police was called and they arrested her. So that time they kept her. She just got out of jail a few weeks ago, like right before Christmas. Well, now there have been charges from what she did that range from child cruelty, aggravated assault, battery, and aggravated stalking and disrupting a public school. 3 of the charges are felonies, and when you add up all the time that she can get from what she did and the charges that she faces, they're saying that she can get up to 54 years behind bars. Okay, now that is a long fucking ass time, and she probably won't get all that time, but I would be stressed the hell out if I knew I was facing that type of time, especially because Tommy has been in and out of trouble over the years. A lot of times the court be like, you just keep on keeping on with the shits. And so then they kind of want to make an example out of you or try to make you realize that they serious about it, and they give you a whole bunch of time. So, the justice system definitely has to work. But, I'm just worried for her. That's a whole lot. And I'm sure she's stressed as well. She did post how, she tried to get on social media and just tried to make people, I guess what she was trying to say was that she's just trying to be involved with her child at school. She goes up to the school, she talks to the teachers, you know, she's involved with what her children do in class. And I guess if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, then she gonna show up at class and whoop that ass. That's sort of what I was getting from what she posted. However, I've told you guys plenty of times that you are allowed to discipline your child. You are not allowed to beat the fuck out of your kids. Okay? Them your kids, I got all that. I'm clear on it. Slamming heads into lockers is excessive. Dragging them down the hall is excessive. They already don't want you to even threaten your child basically in the school's presence. For you to be at school and doing all of this in front of these teachers, of course you are going to get reported. And then, you know, that's serious. I mean, just a series of bad decisions for Tommy. And now it's landed her here. So, you know, I did tell you guys that she's not going to be on Love and Hip Hop. And I guess she's going to be trying to get all of her legal shit together. And speaking of Love and Hip Hop, you guys know that Show Enough Scrap is out. Show Enough Scrap De Leon. Okay. Karen King's son, you guys know he's out of jail. Remember all last season they had then pulled the wool over Mona's eyes and kept on making it seem like he was about to get out. And he did eventually get out, just not while they were recording, not while they were taping for that season. But remember, Karen King always told us that Show Enough Scrap and Tommy actually really did like each other. Even though they kind of set that relationship up just to be on the show, it turned out that they actually was feeling each other and was really trying to make a real go of the relationship. But then when he went to jail, you know, and then it was all these other women and he had his baby mom and all of this, supposedly, that's when they just called it quits. And then we saw that Tommy had ended up getting with that model Ian Connor and had then stepped her game up. We saw her out in Paris at Kanye's fashion show that time. Wasn't it in Paris? Then it was looking like they were a real couple and, you know, she was kind of, it upgraded her. All right, not that Ian Connor is all over the place like that, but you know, it just put her in a different, a little bit of a different category. And they looked like they was happy. So I was just like, oh, maybe this might work out for little old Tommy. But then, just the other day, she, I guess, was reunited with Show Enough Scrap, and somebody caught her on video giving a very passionate hug and kiss. This is one of them kinds when you just be so happy to see somebody you ain't seen in a long ass time. I'm talking about the way the body language was with the hug, with the, you know, the hands behind the head and holding on to them and, you know, kissing and all that. I was just like, girl, did you remember you got a boyfriend? I mean, they could have been broke up. But I mean, I didn't think that they were. And I guess maybe Ian didn't think that they were either. Because then he posted some shit like, you know, y'all hoes. And then it was a picture of a sign over on Pico and Crenshaw that was for public storage. When people pointed out that it was probably for Tommy, he was like, no, it wasn't for Tommy. But you know, these things conveniently. So, you know, I don't know if she didn't know that she was being recorded, you know, or what. But yeah, it was, you know, it's bad. It's like, girl, you got a boyfriend and you kissing Scrap, Show Enough Scrap like this. So I say all that to say is maybe she will make it back onto Love and Hip Hop ATO, because I know Karen King, they want Show Enough Scrap to be back on that show, because that means that they all will be back on the show, okay, regularly, and can get one of Mona's checks. So but then I don't know, maybe she won't because of this legal issue. But in the meantime, she didn't, you know, look like her and her little, you know, her little boo thing. That ain't working. And then when somebody put in a comment and said, you know, Tia, did you see this? Talking about his baby mama. She was like, don't add me, add Moniece Slaughter. That's who he fucking. I said, child, not Moniece again. And Moniece be busy as fuck, don't she? Moniece had to say no, she not fucking him, you know, or she didn't say she wasn't fucking him. She said that she not trying to be with him, okay, because look at how he is. He got a baby mama, he got a girlfriend, and he might be kissing on Tommy. All this going on, you know, why would she want to be in a relationship with somebody? She say that she likes girls, okay, and I guess she just dabbles in the men's, such as a Show Enough Scrap, okay, maybe when she need it, then I guess that's what it is. But yeah, Moniece, girl, I'm gonna need you to sit down, bitch. Fuck you doing out there? But yeah, so we'll see, because Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is going to be next after Miami and New York go off. So we'll see if Tommy makes it back on there. But, you know, all real talk, for real, with everything else that's going on in her life, you know, I just hope that the girl don't be going to jail. And I mean, she got a lot on her. That family depends on her. Okay, they ain't never had much. So now they got this one girl who is feeling the pressure, obviously can't handle it, trying to make it work, and you know, all of that. I don't know why I've just always had a special kind of feeling for Tommy. She troubled, for real. And but I hate to see the girl have to go to jail and all of that again. So but we'll see. You know, we will definitely see what happens with Tommy, and when we find that out, I'm gonna let you know. I've been talking way too much, pontificating as usual, you guys. Lastly and quickie, Kevin Hart said, damn it, quit asking him if he gonna be the host for Oscars. He ain't doing it. He over it. You know, he had then started to act like maybe he possibly would consider it again when he went on the Ellen show, and Ellen said she wanted him to do the job, you know, because she felt like, you know, he was the perfect person for it. So he did kind of consider it then. I thought it was interesting that he did apologize again when he said he wouldn't. So that lets you know the power of the LGBTQ community in Hollywood. Okay, he still did apologize. I said, oh, okay, Kevin, I guess you showed. Y'all know I can't stand little Kevin, but he say he ain't doing it no more. He done moved on. At this point, he don't have time to prepare because the Oscars is in less than 2 weeks or something like that now, right? Or it's just right over 2 weeks. So yeah, he ain't doing it. I don't know who they have gotten. I don't think they've ever gotten this close to the Oscars and don't have a host. Or they may have a host and I just don't know. But yeah, Kevin said he ain't doing it no more. I don't know if I'm supposed to say congratulations or how about we just say that's what's up for Cyntoia Brown, who get my words together. Cyntoia Brown was granted clemency. Okay, remember I told you the Tennessee governor was thinking about giving her clemency. He wanted to look over her case, and at first we had heard that he was not going to give it to her. She wasn't a part of the original package of people that he said was granted clemency. Well, now it's come down that she has been granted clemency, and she will be out of the prison system she won't be out of the system, but she'll be out of prison in August of this year. But she will also be on probation for the next 10 years because she still had 10 years on her sentence. But definitely a victory for her. I mean, if you want to call it that, because she's already been in jail for 15 years. She's been in jail for a long time. And nobody is saying that she didn't deserve to be in jail because she killed somebody. And definitely there are repercussions to that. But with everything else that surrounded that case, it's good to see that, you know, they did finally give her clemency and she'll be out. So that's what's up for Miss Cyntoia Brown. People are wondering if Senator Kamala Harris is going to be running for president. They're saying that that's probably going to be happening and that she is going to be announcing that bid for presidency right around the King holiday. So, you know, this definitely is a you know, fist pump of righteousness for the black woman. However, I will be remiss if I did not say that I'm a little worried. Like, you know, of course, I know that things don't change unless, you know, we force the change to happen. And why not couldn't we have a black woman as a president? We got to advance, and somebody's got to be the one to do it first. But then the other part of me is just like, I don't want them to rip this woman to shreds. I don't want this woman to have to go through the bullshit that the Obamas had to go through. Remember, the world is not even the same place as it was back when your stupid ass president just started as the president. It is a totally different place, and I just feel like I just want to protect anybody that tries to go up. Like, I don't want none of them to be a part of it. People kept on saying they wanted Michelle Obama to run, Oprah to run. No, because they gonna do whatever they have to do to try to tear those women down. And you know, if they treated Hillary Clinton the way that they did back then, okay, can you imagine what they would try to do to her? But you know, I'm trying not to be negative, and like I said, you know, nothing changes without somebody being the first to do it. So y'all just pray for Kamala Harris, okay? Because she's gonna have a whole lot to deal with if she does decide to run. But we will be finding out for sure right around the King holiday, January 21st. And then lastly, you guys, another true fist pump of righteousness for the Black Girl Magic, that is Marsai. Is that how you say her name? Marsai Martin. Okay, that is the twin, one of the twins from the show Blackish, the daughter. She is the youngest executive producer for this movie that's coming out called Little. And that movie stars Issa Rae and Regina Hall. And even she is in it. And it's a take on the movie Big from back in the day with Tom Hanks. Okay, she had the idea, she created this story, and now look, it is a motion picture and it's going to be on the silver screens all over. And when you see the trailers for it, it looks like it's funny. And yeah, so proud of her. This girl is young. They say she's the youngest producer. She is 14 years old, and she obviously knows the right people and where to go. But I think it's wonderful that people even put their their strength behind her to push her so that she was able to do this and get that title under her belt at such a young age. 14, it's only up. It's only up. Okay, and excuse y'all, that's the train. See, the train ain't trying to let me be great with this Black Girl Magic, but you know what? We ain't gonna let it stop us today. Little Marsai Martin, if I'm saying her name wrong, I'm sorry. But it don't matter because y'all know who I'm talking about. And if you don't know, you gonna know. Good looking out for little Miss Marsai. I hope it's more. I just hope it's the beginning of more things to come from her. All right, Roxstars, let me get off of here. I've been talking a long time. I've had some anxiety today, and then when I drink coffee, it makes it worse. And sometimes when I do these videos, it'll help me through it, and you guys have brought me through again. It's kind of taken the edge off of my anxiety today. You guys, I miss my mom. I miss my mom. I just wish I could talk to my mom. I just wish I could talk to her. I don't know what else to say. It's just, I'm feeling so overwhelmed sometimes, and I just wish I could talk to her. So that's it. Y'all out there who got your mamas, even if you guys have some sort of troubled relationship, y'all try to mend that. Okay? Because when mama's gone, she just gone, and you know. Anyway, we ain't trying to get deep, you guys. Let me get off of here. Make sure, nope, not make sure. We do this every single week. So make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.